Joni, just taking away from LSU and a quick turn into Tennessee, how do you what do you take away from that game and hopefully implement into the Tennessee game?
Yeah, quick turnaround, obviously. That's what happens when you play in this league. You got to digest it, look at it, and then get ready for the next one. I thought in third and fourth quarter, we came out and put ourselves in a position to be right there in the game, and then we took some shots that led to transition points for them. We turned it over, and we fouled way too much. So we sent them to the free throw line and let them get plan A, which was get to the free throw line and offensive rebound. And you just cannot do that with good teams, especially a team that's as good as LSU. I think in terms of a quick turnaround, you're looking at a team on Sunday that's very similar. They've got great size. They average a ton of points. They are top half in the league in scoring and rebounding and assist and getting to the free throw line. So very similar from a stat line standpoint. We've got to make sure, again, you've got 5 players on the floor who at each position can score a ton of points. And we've got to do a better job defensively or of each owning our individual matchup and not giving them what they want, which is offensive boards, open shots, getting to the free throw line.
Was giving up 87 points, is that frustrating to you, or was it just how, because when you guys are holding teams around 50?
Yeah. Well, we knew that they can score in bunches, but sure, it's frustrating at times because it's hard enough to keep them from scoring. And then when you do it because of a lack of discipline on our end of the floor or a mental lapse or a my bad, you just cannot do that against really good teams. And we had too many of those comments or statements or moments last night.
Big night for India last night.
Yeah.
I asked you a couple weeks ago, or I told you that she had said she hadn't felt like she had reached where she wants to be, but just asked her again, and she said she's really starting to feel more comfortable and settled in. Do you feel like you're seeing that from her?
I think she's more settled in. I think she's more aggressive offensively. I think when India first came here, she was, credit to her, she was very aware of trying to figure out our offense, learn it, and be a really good point guard and making sure that everyone was getting touches. And she still does that. I think now she's just more comfortable in that role, and so she's more aggressive and she's taking what the defense gives her. And we also have struggled to score a little bit, and so as she has seen that, she's been more aggressive offensively.
I apologize because they didn't really talk about it too much on the broadcast, but MJ and AC getting a little banged up. How are they responding the day after, and what's their availability for this weekend?
Still waiting to see. Both of them are being seen today by our orthos and our doctors, and we're just waiting to hear a report from both of them. So I really don't have a good answer for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
And then the technical last night, obviously not something you're trying to do or ever want to do or plan on, but what happened? What was the explanation given to you? And then also your reaction and being more fired up like that. How much is that emblematic of your approach and consistent with this team this year as opposed to last season?
Well, it was, there was a call that should have been made and it didn't get made. And that's what led to my reaction. I mean, you have to obviously be very limited in what I say when you're talking about a call and officials. We're all out there trying to do our best, but that was a honest reaction. I was very upset, and I'm going to fight for our team. I'm going to fight for our team. I'm not someone who does a whole lot of yelling and talking when it comes to that. I want the game to play for itself. I want our players to have a tough mentality. But at some point, enough is enough. And I was fighting for our team at that point because it had gone on for too long.
When you look at Tennessee, just being able to, the team is obviously different from last year, but in this being the second year, how are you able to take anything away from the games that you had against them last year, or is that just not really something
Of course you watch it, and that was one of the games where we only had 7 players, and you watch that game and you're thinking, good Lord, with 7 players, like defensively, we're pretty good in this game. We're doing some things. So there's some things that you look at and you're like, wow, these kids really fought hard. Like our young ladies really, really fought hard. Outside of that, you just, it's a totally different team, and you kind of throw it out of the window because it's just so different. It's hard to, you're right, in a lot of years, you have some consistency in both sides, our team and the other team, and you can look at last year's game and say, oh, this worked really well, or we can do this. It's hard to do that from last year to this year. But I was very proud of our fight last year, given the circumstance we were in and how we were able to play with them.
Do you feel like the team has adjusted yet to having that Thursday, Sunday, kind of routine, getting back into that?
I think so. Some are familiar with it, some aren't. I think for the players who, in some cases, aren't, it's a one more day than what they're used to. Coming from the Pac-12 in some cases, depending on when that game is. But we told them this is a grind they're on. And then the other thing is, as much as possible, we try to mirror our non-conference and play Thursday, Sunday. So a lot of our non-conference games, while they were not SEC opponents, it was still a Thursday, Sunday rotation.
From your perspective, what are the differences preparing for a Sunday game as opposed to a Thursday game with less time in between each one from a coaching standpoint?
Well, today is a day you have to really monitor, based on minutes played, based on injury reports. You're waiting to hear back. Were you at home? Were you on the road? What time did you get in? A benefit right now is that we're not in class, and so they were able to sleep in a little bit this morning. So Friday's practice, it's a little bit different than a Tuesday practice when you had Monday off, and so you just have to respond accordingly based on all those factors. So it looks a little different every week.
And then from a scouting standpoint and watching film, what are the biggest differences?
There's no difference there.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Do you enjoy playing a top-ranked team like out of the gate for SEC play?
Absolutely. Why not? I mean, you want to be able to measure yourself against the top of the league, and we've got a chance to do that multiple times, early on. It gives us a good measuring stick of where we are and what we need to work on. We'll see some of them again. And so, top of the league, bottom of the league, again, I say it all the time, Thursday through Sunday, you're going to have your hands full. But yes, if we have a chance to really early go against one of the, top programs in our conference, then let's do it so we can find out exactly where we are, what we need to work on, what we're good at, what we're not good at, what we thought we were good at and we're not, confirm what we are good at. All those things are beneficial to us because it's a process and it's a long season.
After last night's performance, where do you think your team's at, just maybe in comparison to last year at this time? I know the injuries and all of that factors in, but just again with that barometer.
Yeah, obviously, I mean, physically we're a lot more talented than we were last year. I think where we still have to grow is just not letting teams go on long stretches, and that's a toughness thing. That's why our motto is tough. We got to have better toughness, mental toughness, emotional intelligence, all of those things. We've got to put together consistently, and we're not consistent in that area.
All right. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Thanks, Coach.